because you can see my glare in my glasses. Because usually I wear contacts, but my contacts haven't arrived yet, and I have 3 left. That's 3. 3 left. So for those of you who don't know Andrew, I'm going to introduce him in a second, but he's from TubeBuddy, and he's going to give you guys an incredible demo today. I can't wait to make sure that you guys know exactly what to do to grow your channel. Hold on. Why is this comment not going?
Oh, it would appear I am taking over fully now, folks. So, hello, everyone.
Oh, this is a good start.
I like how you're like, I'm gonna leave Andrew to the wolves. It's all right. So I'm Andrew Can from TubeBuddy. I see people know me from Push Up Cam.
Yes.
I do more than push-ups.
Hey, tip to remove the comment? Because it seems stuck.
So if you go to the comments on StreamYard, you should be able to just hit the minus. So you may have to find the comment, and if it's scrolling fast,
that's going to be a problem. Okay,
you should be able to also just add another comment, and it should replace it.
All right. All right. We're good to go, I think. Are you guys ready? Give me a big yes in the comments to dig into all of this. Are you ready, Andrew?
Yes, I am.
All right, fantastic. We're going to get going. Welcome to Live Streaming Pros. We're going to tackle how to grow your audience through keyword research with TubeBuddy. We're going to be talking about very important things: when you should record your videos and upload them to YouTube versus when you should grow your audience through live streaming, and how the difference really works on YouTube specifically. We're going to talk about keyword research. What the heck is it? Why is it important? And we'll also be talking about, well, actually, Andrew, who is my guest today, is going to actually be giving you a full-on demo of TubeBuddy and how it works. And you're really going to start to see today what it actually takes to grow your audience on YouTube. I know we have a lot of new creators in the house. If you are a new creator, if you're just getting started with all of this content creation stuff, let me know in the comments right now. Or if you've been doing this a while and you're like, you know what, I need to up my game right now, let me know that in the comments as well. So we're going to dig into all of this, demo everything. I cannot wait. All right, so Andrew Khan is from TubeBuddy, and I've invited him on here to do this demo and talk to you guys about how to do keyword research and really how to grow. Andrew, you've been with them for how long?
Coming up on 5 years I've been at TubeBuddy.
It's like you've been there from the beginning to me. It's like you're just the staple of TubeBuddy. And Andrew, can you kind of describe kind of what your job is there, and kind of just describe how in depth with the analytics and the understanding of what it takes to grow a YouTube channel that you are involved in?
Sure. So I am the head of video production as well as community management. I've been with TubeBuddy, like I said, for 5 years. So what my job is at TubeBuddy...
This new system is just throwing me.
No worries.
You keep going.
So basically, I've been a TubeBuddy. My job is to make sure you watching can easily understand how to use TubeBuddy to help grow and optimize your channel. So we provide a tool of suites, and you could do a lot of the stuff we offer with our tools one by one, but it would take a lot of time. We want to save you time so you can spend less work on the back end and more time creating content, be it video, streaming, whatever you want.
I love it. So thank you for being here. First and foremost, I mean, I see so many people not saying they're new versus they're not new. So we've got a good mix in here. We are going to kind of tackle this from the basics today, and then we'll dive deeper into this later. But I really wanted to make sure you understood exactly how to use this tool to grow. It is what we've used from, we've started focusing on YouTube about 6 months ago,
Oh,
maybe
wow.
8 months ago, and that's it. And we just hit 20,000 subscriptions. Yay! It's a start, right? We all
Very
start
good.
somewhere. So we just hit that, and it's been TubeBuddy that's really helped us grow and look at exactly what we need to be able to do. Like, what videos should we put out? What live streams should we put out? And everything I do is kind of revolved around this tool. You guys can actually get access. You guys can actually get a free, install it for free and try it for free using this link, tubebuddy.com/LSP for live streaming pros. And that will get you going and get you started. So you'll be able to really follow along if you want to go ahead and do it while we're live, because we're going to do a demo here shortly, but also just start digging into it in your content creation process. So Andrew, one of the biggest questions that we get is the question of like, all right, I want to do live video, right? Like, we're all about live around here. But not everything is right for live. So
Sure.
when should you focus as a content creator on the recorded video versus the live streaming?
So it's understanding what each piece of content can kind of do for your channel, right? So live streams are great in building community. They bring people together and it's more of a one-to-one interaction, right? Like, you can ask questions live. So what we found to really work, not only for our own channel, but a lot of the other channels we help manage, is that don't look at them as two separate things. A lot of times they can work together. And what I mean by that is, let's say that you put out a video on Wednesday as a hypothetical, right? You can do a short video on that, but you can also let people know, hey, we plan to go more in depth on this, let's say Friday. So if you have any questions, come to the stream and you can ask even more in depths. And you can also remind them, hey, we go live every Friday in the case of this example. And you can use your content to not only grow your channel, it's a shorter condensed version, but when you should be doing those shorter condensed versions is, for example, maybe it's how to easily plug in your Camlink 4K. I know that's a piece of gear you
Right.
talk about here. Maybe that doesn't need an entire stream, but then you could say, if you want to learn how you can really up the production using the Camlink 4K, come to our stream this Friday where we're going to show you every single thing you need to know. So there's that short piece that answers that question. And then you can promote to your live stream, which can be more in depth and build that community in a different way.
Yeah, it's what I would call a cohesive content strategy where
Yes.
you're kind of working things together so that you're not having to do all the things all the time, but where your efforts are more strategic. So, like what you're saying is, kind of using this video to push to the live stream, which is a fantastic solution. One of the things that we're doing is, by the way, with that Camlink description and that example, like, we totally have tried to do live streams with the intention of, and we do this, but well, let me back up, like, because from our strategy is like, we have VODs, right? Videos on demand, and we release those like once a week. We're trying to kind of increase to 2 times a week. But we also do live streams now 5 days a week through kind of all of the world changing right now, but usually it's like 2 times a week. And one of those are more strategic. It's kind of, it's really focused on the flow that will be able to actually be a recorded video at the end after the replay, or for the replay, right? So we trim off the beginning, we trim off the end, and we just have a condensed version that would kind of be considered just a regular video. And so I don't respond to comments during that time. Like, I don't do anything. I just deliver that value. And then we have our Friday streams, which are complete open Q&As, which are goofy. They're all over the place, right? Like, we don't stay on one topic for too long. And so that is not really searchable content. So we unlist those, and those just are there for our current audience. We do get a lot of new people in there, but nobody's going to search for those. And one time Nick Nimmin told me, he was like, you got to get rid of that, because we do a lot of live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we tried to do like the Camlink kind of example, like a demo live, and then turn that into a recorded video for post. And that actually did not work very well at all because it's a demo, right?
Yeah. And also, you need to remember people that are searching, they're trying to find a solution quickly, right? Usually that's what we find. Most of the time, if I need something that's short and to the point, if
Yeah.
I see an hour-long video for something, I'm like, that can get overwhelming as a user, right? One thing on YouTube and in any platform you're on, you always need to value the user's time, right? So, yes, you could do a live stream and you can go more in depth like you guys were doing, but even if you take and edit out those chunks from the stream, which YouTube does offer through the back end, you can find that you can probably condense the stream and then maybe say, hey, if you want to see everything, see some of the questions we were asked, check out the card to see the whole screen. And even if you leave it unlisted, it can still act as a resource for you. So there are some options there.
Does that, I mean, I guess that helps with like watch time and keeping people on the platform and everything, even if it's unlisted.
So YouTube has changed how they handle
Okay.
unlisted videos. It's more so, like I said, for that community that may
Okay.
want that information.
Okay. So there are a couple of different options, right? So like what you're seeing is kind of tie that content together, have it for community building. But what about the people who said in here, I'm just starting,
Mhm.
or I am on Facebook and I'm afraid to, somebody said earlier, I'm afraid to kind of make the jump to YouTube. So they're starting with zero audience or potentially a smaller bucket of an audience. What are you seeing with new content creators for using live streaming for community building purposes? Because at that point, you don't really have a community.
Yes. So the first thing, similar to what you had to do when you started on Facebook, is you need to identify who you are trying to help with the streaming or even the individual pieces of videos you create. And that's kind of where keyword research comes into the fold, right? Because when you're doing keyword research, a lot of people are like, what does that even mean? Keyword is just the key focus of whatever your channel is about video wise. So whatever you want to stream about, being cooking, gardening, maybe it's learning how to live stream, right? There are so many different things that you can focus on. And on YouTube, we usually say find your niche or niche, depending on how you say it. But
Do you always have to say both?
oh, I always say both, but
You
I
just don't want to
prefer
make anybody mad, right?
you always do, but it's really finding who you are trying to speak to, and if you know who your audience is, going back to that example, then that's where you can make videos to draw them in. But it's your job as a creator to be like, hey, and if you want to learn and be a part of this community, I do weekly live streams where you can ask questions, meet other people like you, and really become part of that community. And that's one thing that we were able to do really well on TubeBuddy, is understand that people needed help learning how to grow their YouTube channels, their videos, their streams. So we provide them the tools, but we also go a step further and created a community where you can ask questions, you can learn with us, and you can be introduced to new people similar to what you are doing now.
Awesome. I love that. So that's your strategy right at the beginning. And if you do, as you do have the audience kind of growing, then adding in the community-based streams or the more in-depth streams. And to be honest, like I see this happen all the time. You start with, let's say, a 30-minute stream or an hour stream, and then eventually you can maybe go longer even with your community. Nick Nimmin, who I mentioned earlier, does like 5 6 hour streams, right?
Yes.
You guys did a 24-hour stream recently, which made David lose his hair. Thanks for that.
Sorry.
I'm just always going to blame you for that. Who remembers that in the comments? Let me know. Actually, somebody keeps asking for you to do push-ups. We're not going to make Andrew do his 24-hour stream push-ups during this stream. Now, come on, guys. Let's be nice to him. He's our guest. So now we know kind of like the recorded video versus the live video. Now let's talk about the keyword research, because you mentioned that. So dive a little deeper into, how it really helps and what the basics are that people need to know about keyword research in order to create your streams and your videos.
Sure. So going back to kind of what I said earlier, is people usually on YouTube, they think keywords and their immediate thought is, oh, those are the tags. It's a lot more than that. A keyword is just that. It's the most important word of a sentence. The way that relates to streaming or video is that it's the what the video or stream is truly about, right? So like if you're having a community stream, that's just about getting to know your community. But if you were teaching someone how to, for example, lay down carpet or how to install a ceiling fan, they're different than just a community hangout. There is a purpose to the stream. So for those kind of streams, you can go longer. So when you're doing keyword research, I would look up ceiling fan installation in that example, or for live streaming, how to go live on YouTube, right? Like that is a specific thing that you can answer in a stream or a video. But if you're just like how to stream, that's very broad. So what keyword research does is it lets you see what people are searching for so that you have the opportunity to show up in search results. SEO is something you're going to hear me talk about a lot, and that just stands for search engine optimization. But I like to call it search engine opportunity because you have the opportunity to get discovered and earn views. And I say earn views because just because you show up in search doesn't guarantee them. It's up to your title and thumbnail to really drive in and get that viewer's click and attention.
Yeah. And by the way, you guys, this tool that we're talking about that you're about to see the demo of, there is a link in the description to install it for free, to try it for free. And then if you want to go further, you can. But as an example of kind of what Andrew is talking about, I was telling Andrew, as I started doing keyword research, I kind of went into it kicking and screaming. I did not want to do it because I don't feel like I have enough time, right? And so it does take a little bit of time investment, but it's worth it. Like it took me several months to kind of get used to the process, and like you said, you were pointing out, people think the keyword is the title. I went that way for several months. I was like, okay, this is my keyword, this is my title. But I'm telling you my failures and my kind of like kicking and screaming kind of story because I want you to hear that it doesn't have to be perfect right off the top, right? It's not going to be perfect. It is a learning kind of experience, and you get better and better and better as time goes on. And as a perfectionist, who's a perfectionist in the house, I wanted it to be perfect and just growing my channel to 100,000 like right away. And I don't like, that's just not how the world works, right? We do have to learn the processes and kind of get used to the process. And I will say this, this year, a couple of older videos that I did early last year, so almost a year old, have shot through the roof, right? And they're getting all kinds of views, and they're also generating an incredible amount of revenue as well. So it's the long-term game. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Absolutely. So when you're doing SEO, it lets you, as you were just explaining, have a catalog of content, be it your streams, be it videos you record, that can do well in search over time. So if something happens where that is super relevant, like right now, more people than ever are trying to learn how to live stream or how to record themselves or how to make their live video look better, then this is a perfect opportunity for some of that old searchable content to shoot up because you've put in the groundwork, you've made it searchable, you've made a thumbnail, and you've made the title both searchable and compelling. A lot of times when people are doing SEO, they forget that your content needs to be compelling. What does compelling mean? It just means that it makes someone want to click on the video, that they want to choose your video or stream to be that answer they're looking for.
Yes. That is so key. And you guys do put the word, like we've kind of mentioned it, we've beat around the bush on this. You've got to put the work into the thumbnails before your live stream content as well, right? You got to do the keyword research. You've got to do the thumbnail beforehand. A lot of people treat live as different than their recorded videos, and they just go. And I did too for a long time. I'm right where you are. I was right where you are, right? But that's why we're doing this video, to help you see the other side of things and what to do. So, Andrew, are you ready to do a demo and show them how to actually put all of these ideas into practice?
Absolutely. So
Awesome.
whenever you want, let's share my screen and I'll kind of jump into this. So, one of the things I love to do for the live stream audience is I love to give and pitch back, right? So, if you have an idea that you've wanted to do for a stream, right? And I will give a little bit of buffer in case you want to chop this up later. If you guys have an idea for the stream, please let us know in the chat so I can look that up live right here with you. Some of the benefits for joining us live now.
Oh, I like that. It's game. Yes, let's
Yes.
do it.
And let's go from here. So this is how you can use TubeBuddy especially. So when you first start using TubeBuddy, you're going to notice this TubeBuddy drop-down menu. It's going to be right here after you authenticate and give us permission to look at your stuff. So you're going to select the TubeBuddy drop-down menu, which is going to help you get around YouTube faster. It's going to help you see different things such as your analytics, your comments. It gets you faster to creating another live stream for YouTube. So under all of these quick links that will help you get around, there is our Keyword Explorer. And this is really where we are going to focus, right? So the Keyword Explorer is available for free users. And here we can come up and look for things based on what we think our key audience is looking for. However, if you're doing a live stream, right, let's say you don't have an idea, but you see something that this is something that is for free with TubeBuddy, it shows you trending topics for wherever you're located, right? So if we're in the United States and it's identified we're there, it knows that we are going to be looking for things based in the US. But let's say I am like one of our coworkers, Rob, who lives in Canada. I can easily switch to Canada and it will show me different results. So let's just say that I have a channel that is all about like the stock market. I can see right here that IBM stock is trending. So maybe it makes sense to do a live stream about different stocks that are trending so that when people are looking for them in real time, our stream is talking about that. And then you can make it in a way to the video, the replay is all about it. And people who wanted to know the history of it could rewatch it, right? So we're seeing a lot of different things we could look into. I just think that whenever you are making a stream, a video, you need to know who your audience is so that you can make content for them. Going back to that stock market example, if I have a stock market channel and all of a sudden I'm like, I want to talk about Stanley Tucci, the actor, there's not one-to-one related there. So trying to remember why people came to your channel, who you're trying to help really does matter when it comes to doing this. So I see some people in the chat and I want to see if anyone has an idea of something they'd like to see researched.
Yeah, we had sustainability come through. We had marketing for filmmakers.
So I think marketing for filmmakers is a great place to start. Because one, I have a filmmaking background, so a little biased, but also sustainability is a little vague. So sustainability of what, right? So one thing you'll learn with keyword researcher is you have to be very specific. And because when you think of keywords, think about how someone would type this into search, right? I talked about being both searchable and compelling. If I just type in sustainability, right? Well, I mean, there's a lot of different things we could go into. But if you're trying just to be in sustainability, TubeBuddy, one of the things we offer is what's called Search Explorer. There's a lot of competition here. So the more specific you can be, the better, right?
So go like that keyword, that Search Explorer, basically. The way I use it, and correct me if I'm using it incorrectly, but basically you're looking at like how much search volume is there and where do you fit into that in terms of the competition level. And there's the Search Explorer, but then you can dig, I'm sure you're going to go there, but you can dig in a little further into your channel. But so you're suggesting that the first thing that you do is look at that competition or the search volume? Like what should be our first priority?
I would say, and let's go back to the Keyword Explorer, if you're going to be talking about, like the example was sustainability, right? Like there is sustainable, and we can see this is pulled from YouTube. This is where we're getting this information. So sustainable, is it living, fashion? There's a lot more,
Oh,
right?
here we go. Corporate social sustainability.
Yes. So corporate social sustainability, right? So you also have to remember one thing I tell people. I'm going to go back to the filmmaking example because I said I would. So we were talking about filmmaking for marketing, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we have an idea, and I'm not sure about this one, where we like it, but it may not be the most searchable, right?
Yeah.
And that is something that can happen. I wanted to pull both up just in case. So what I'm seeing here for both with the space is that it has a fair amount of search volume. But one thing I want to look at is the barrier to entry. Now, this does require TubeBuddy Pro. I'm looking at the weighted score, but on the free version, you can see the unweighted. I can see that the search volume is low, the competition is low, the optimization strength is excellent. So what the optimization strength means is that there isn't really a video that's talking about filmmaking for marketing, right? Or marketing for films, or maybe that is a better way to look at it, but I'm going off what was asked, right? So
yeah.
When I look here, there isn't a lot of people targeting like filmmaking for marketing. It's one of those things where I think what more people are likely looking up is marketing for films, right? Like if we flip that. And so here we can see there are a couple of more video results. The score is going higher. So even then there's some interest, but you have to remember sometimes we have an idea that we are passionate about and we love, but then when we do the research, not a lot of people are looking for it.
Yeah.
So when your video or your stream ends up not getting that many views or interest, it could just be that what you're talking about is too specific, right? It's too niche for a broader audience. But if you want to make that video, you just have to be realistic or stream that this may not do as well as I want because there's not that much demand, right?
And it's okay to have different goals for different videos and different streams. Like,
oh, absolutely.
That may not be your goal to generate just tons of views, but it may be your goal to hit a very specific audience, right? That is a smaller audience and get them over onto, something else. So you can have different goals.
And that's actually a great example. If something's like very niche, that's when you can maybe do a stream over a video because you can see there's some interest so that you can have that stream where you're not putting in hours of editing, time and all that. And you can have that stream. So if that starts growing and there's more interest in whatever you made that topic, then that's where it's a perfect idea to do a stream because there is some interest, but you don't want to put in hours and hours of work on a video and then you maybe get 100 views.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So one I saw here was mountain biking, right? So that is a very interesting way to do it, right? So if I look in mountain biking, here are some different things immediately that come up. And it's important to note that these right here are what people are searching for, right? So if I know I'm a mountain biking streamer, then here's what people are looking for, right? They're looking for GoPro, downhill, things like this, Colorado, right? Trails. So maybe if I am in Colorado, right? Like maybe I'm doing a live stream there. So now we have a little bit more specific. We can see our score has changed. And I kind of want to go in and break down what everything is here. People tend to get confused and they're like, what number should I look for? And it's not so much a number. It's more so you want to look at this little icon here. And think of it like a traffic light. I love to use this example because most people have driven or have been with someone who has driven a car, right? So red means to stop and consider another thing to target. So in this case, maybe we shouldn't make a video that's just about mountain biking in Colorado, right? Maybe we should be more specific. Yellow is to be cautious, and that is based on however you drive. If you're the kind of person that's going to go through a yellow light, that means speed up, then go for it, right? But if you're like me, and I like to stop because it means to be cautious and slow down, then that's what you should do with your keyword. You should either be cautious or you should go for it depending on how you feel you can do, right? Green, of course, means you're good to go.
Okay. I like that.
So some people are like, but my score is, I was given a 80 score, but they didn't look at the analysis, right? Like
Right. I've been there.
if your search volume is fair. Now this is orange almost to yellow, so this is a lot better. And if you want to see, sometimes we were able to offer monthly estimate of searches. So there's about 17,000 people, we'll round up to 18,000 people looking for this a month. Does that mean you're guaranteed 18,000 views? No, because that's where your title and your thumbnail really come into play.
Now, I have a question about that estimated search results, number of search results. At what point are you able to start tracking that, or what's the guideline there?
So the way we do it at TubeBuddy is we base it on what people have been searching for already, because if we were to try to literally serve every keyword combination, there are trillion of different words and sentences. So we base it on what we have from the partner we gather data from, as well as what we've seen people are interested in. Because like sometimes it's just, again, try to imagine trillions of different sentences you could make. And then I ask you, all right, now tell me them all right now. It's not that simple. So we have a video on the channel that really goes into it, and we also have support articles, but essentially we do the best we can with what we are given based on the trillions of combinations for these things.
Okay, that's incredibly helpful. Thank you for breaking that down, because I sometimes, I hear people being like, but like, what? I need more information there. So perfect.
Yes. So going back to that number, the reason I brought up that it matters about your click-through rate, YouTube tells us a click-through rate, which just means how often when people see your video, be it in search, suggested, or wherever on YouTube, they click on it and watch the stream or video, right?
Yeah.
So if we know that there are about 18,000 people a month searching for it, that's not all 18,000 on one day. That's throughout the course of time, right?
Yeah.
If we have a 10% click-through rate of 18,000, that is not going to mean we're going to get all 18,000 views. If we're lucky and we have a 10% click-through rate, we get 1,800 views in that month. Now, if you are a small channel, that's phenomenal. A lot of people are like, 1,800 views a month, sign me up. But if you have millions upon millions of subscribers, 1,800 views a month may not be the most exciting for your channel, right?
Yeah.
So it's all relative to how your channel is performing.
Okay.
So I want to take this mountain biking from Colorado and let's see if we can get our score up, right? So maybe we don't focus on Colorado, we go back, and if we want to go back, we can actually just look down here to see some of the previous things we've looked up. So I've looked up a bunch of things, so my recent is actually a little bit different, but it's pretty simple. We can just get rid of this. And let's see what people are looking for, right? Let's say I want to do a stream that is beginner friendly. One thing I tell people, especially when it comes to live streams, is don't make your streams too community focused. And I call it this. You don't want too many windows. And what I mean by this is like everyone can look in, but there's no door. There's no way to enter the stream. There's no way to become a part of that community. So sometimes there's a lot of ways to look into a community, but there's no clear way to, hey, I want to join this mountain biking community, but I don't even know where to begin. If you are to do a stream that's beginner focused, it's like, oh, they do a beginner live stream about mountain biking every Tuesday, then that's where I'll start. But if all you ever do are community streams or it's not clear to the people, you have too many windows and no doors. That's kind of how I like to describe that.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
So I want to look at the weighted tab. Now this does require the paid version of TubeBuddy, but this is where you can really start getting some great information. So from here, you can look and you can see what is called you versus top ranked videos. This also works for streams, so don't mind that. But one thing you need to keep in mind is when you are doing a video, that we show you what the minimum amount of views it takes to show up on the first page of search results. With live streams, you get a little bit of a benefit because YouTube tries to push live streams a little higher.
Right.
That's because it's going to be more relevant than maybe a video a couple years ago. And if you want to know why I'm going to use the word relevant, I'm going to quickly switch over. And I want to show something that a lot of people use YouTube, but they never know it's here. And it's right in front of a lot of people, but they've never really looked into it. So if we go back to mountain biking, right? Like we'll just go here. YouTube, by default, if we click on the filters, the number one thing it's filtering for is relevance, right?
Yeah.
So guess what? A live is going to be more relevant than any piece of video content. Does that mean you're going to stay number one forever? No. But if you're interested in a topic, be it mountain biking, live gets a boost, and that could be a great opportunity if you can obviously stay there, you do good SEO. But for that, that's a great opportunity for you to try to reach in those locations.
Yeah. And it gives you that extra benefit, though, also from the click-throughs and the engagement and also all of that stuff for after the fact, correct?
True.
Yeah. Okay.
So the reason I say relevance is live is going to be more relevant than a video because it's happening now. So this right here shows us for a video. So if like maybe this is the replay, you would need to either have about 7,000, I'll just round up, 200 views, or be able to get more than that to show up on the first page of search results.
Okay.
Now, TubeBuddy shows you right here, if you hover over it, this is the lowest video view count found in top ranking videos. So this is the barrier to entry. If I can't hit about 7,200 views, then I'm not able to get in and rank. And that's not that I don't have a good video. It's just that YouTube has identified that there are other videos that are serving this need better. So mountain biking for beginners, right? Mm-hmm. So I know that I have about 5,150 views per video, right? And this is based on the last 5 videos on the channel. We're working on making it the last 10, similar to how YouTube does it themselves.
Okay.
But as much as I would love to make a video of mountain biking for beginners, let's pretend that instead of this is being the TubeBuddy channel, this is a mountain biking channel. This might be where doing a stream is a good idea to get new people that are interested in mountain biking. And then we can point them to maybe some videos. So it's like, hey, this stream is about, they come in late on a stream, but you can be like, hey, thank you everyone who's new here. If you would like to learn my beginner mountain biking tips, I have a playlist for you. And then you're just catering your content for them.
Nice. Yeah, I like that little twist right there.
So if we were to I want to go into another tool, if that's all right, and kind of show you how you could go from this and then making it into an actual stream or a video per se.
Okay, for sure.
So here I'm seeing.
And by the way, before you get going, I see questions coming. We're going to tackle questions here in just a minute. I'm just letting Andrew kind of dig into all of this. So hang tight for the Q&A. Don't go anywhere.
All right. Sorry, I get really excited because
this is why you're here. We love that. Everybody's loving it.
Because live streaming is such an important thing, especially for community building. And if you can understand who your audience is and how you want to serve them content, right? Like, so for mountain biking, we have mountain biking for beginners. In the Q&A, we can do this similar later for more people, but we're going to focus on mountain biking for beginners now. So here is, like I said, looking at this as a traffic light, we know the search volume is yellow. It's closer to green than it is to red, so that's pretty good. The competition is pretty fair, closer to red, because as we see here, there are 25 million videos we're competing against, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of competition. Now, maybe there aren't that many streams, but the stream after the fact will start to go down. Mm-hmm. Now, here's another thing. There's about 57,000 people a month looking for mountain biking for beginners. So that's about a chance, if we're going with a 10% click-through rate, about 5,000 views per month. That's a lot better. Now, that's assuming everyone clicks through, and that's a lot of assumption. But based on math, right, that is what we can lead to. So one of the things we've noticed is optimization strength. This is excellent. A lot of people are like, what does this mean? Optimization strength, if I hover over it, means that these videos are not well optimized. And this gives you an opportunity to come in with a searchable and compelling title to earn views through mountain biking for beginners. And if you ever want to see how do we know what the competition is like, there's results, right?
Yeah.
So if we look here, 10 MTB tips for beginners, beginner mistakes, how to start. There's none that's actually like mountain biking
for beginners.
It's as simple as you think that is, right? Like there are a bunch of like ones that contain the keyword, which is mountain biking, right? So this is our keyword, mountain biking for beginners, but none is actually answering it. Like we have 6 beginner mountain bike skills, but no one is actually answering this 100%. And one of our friends who is Daniel Batal, he says that when he looks at this, he's looking to see if there is a 100% match. A lot of these are just like, they're similar, but they're not answering this specific search.
Right.
When you are going after SEO, that search engine opportunity, you want to be the answer to that searchable question. And right now, no one is answering or helping people who are looking for exactly mountain biking for beginners. Does that mean you can ride this out forever? No, but for right now, this is a great opportunity.
Okay.
So
should I add an exclamation point to that, or should I add some other words after it? Like how do we make it compelling? That? Yeah.
Yes. So with this, I want to break and show our pro feature SEO Studio, which lets you work on the video or streams title, description, and tags before you ever go live or before. So you don't have to sit there like 5 minutes before you're about to go live. Oh, what do I title it? What do I research it? Because I've been there and it's no fun.
It is not. It's like,
And one thing you'll notice with TubeBuddy is we want to give you the tools to understand, 1, what people are searching for, 2, to save you time so you're not pulling your hair out wondering, why am I not growing? And then 3, we want to help you by understanding these things and then use them to grow your channel.
Yeah.
We have the tools. We want to give them to you so you can do it yourself.
Awesome. And you guys do a fantastic job at it, by the way. I really love your tool. There is a lot there, and it takes time, like I said earlier, to kind of dig into. But even at the basic level, like what we're looking at today, it's a powerhouse.
Exactly. So one thing I said is you want to be focusing on what people are searching. We've explained the overall score. We've done the score analysis, but let's look at over here related. A lot of people are like, what does this even mean over here? This is what people are searching for right now on YouTube, right? So we know on YouTube right now, these are things people are looking for when it comes to mountain biking for beginners. They're looking for UK. So maybe if you're based in the UK, you can focus that as the angle of your streams and channel, right? People are looking for skills. They're looking for tricks. So whatever, if this makes sense, if you want to focus on beginner-friendly content, these are all new videos you could do all around mountain biking for beginners. And each of these could be their own video. Now, does this mean that these are the exact titles you use? No. We're going to get to that in just a bit. But I appreciate the enthusiasm.
I'm like, come on.
I promise. It's just so important. Because I know
stuff is so important, yeah.
Someone asked, what if I want to focus on Google? Well, we have web searches, which does exactly that. These are what people are searching for on Google. So if you want to write a blog to kind of work together with your live stream, there's a way you can focus on either YouTube or Google. Okay. My favorite section is video topics. And this is where we've identified at TubeBuddy some topics we think that might be able to help you make some videos, right? So if we look here, sadly, we're not finding any, but I promise there are examples where we do.
And we'll go there next.
Exactly. Well, I mean, here's another thing you can do is like if you want to research a new tag, right? All you have to do is click on it, or a new keyword, mountain biking for beginners UK, boom, it's done. I said tags because these are the common video tags and I was looking at it.
No worries. We saw what you clicked.
So now what I want to do is bring this into our SEO studio. And this is where you can go and plan out your streams, right? Like if you know you want to do a stream all in May, which is coming up, or the next month, you want to do a stream all in the next month about mountain biking, or maybe you're a cooking streamer or you're a gardening streamer, whatever you do, you can literally plan out that month's all in one day, do the research, and know that not only are people looking for this, it's for my audience. So I'm not second guessing, will anyone care? I've done the research. I can see people care, and I can help them to the best of my ability, because that's what our job is as creators.
This is freaking awesome that you can kind of have these planned things out, right? So one of the biggest things that people always ask me is, how do I batch? Like batch my recorded content. How do I batch live? This is how you do it, right? Once a month, kind of sit down and look through all of this stuff. Like I will say it's annoying to have to every week or every day or something really consistent sit down and do the keyword research, and it will give you reason to kind of be give it excuses to not do it. So if you batch it once a month, then you just have a full day where you're like digging into all of this stuff. You do the work, you prep it in the YouTube studio, or sorry,
SEO studio, don't worry.
SEO studio.
A lot of studios.
So it's like, wait, YouTube studio. No, it can't be that one. Into the SEO studio. And then you're good to go, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to have an excuse to not go live because you've already done the work. It's just time to go.
And what I love about this tool is I just apply it, I go live, and I have fun. Because like I said, we know that SEO, it's the fundamentals, right? Like no one wants to focus. If you're a basketball player, no one wants to spend hours on them. But if you don't have good fundamentals, there's nothing for your content to stand on, right? Like the fundamentals matter. So we've made it easy for you to do these all at once. So again, we're focusing on the mountain biking because this is just where we decided to go. In the maybe later in the live QA, we'll go and do more if you would be interested in that. But right now, we know people are looking for mountain biking for beginners, but let's break down what this score and this does, right? So for TubeBuddy SEO, this is what YouTube is looking for to when they're recommending you do SEO. So they say include your target keyword in the title. Well, TubeBuddy has already done that for me, right? Mountain biking for beginners. People often ask, can I do things like mountain biking far away for beginners? Well, the thing is, you can, but we recommend doing your best to find a way to keep this all together, because that's what YouTube recommends. They recommend keeping your target keyword in the first 60 characters of the title. So when you're doing this, there are other ways, right? Mountain biking for beginners is very what it is. But if we're like free mountain biking for beginners, we knew people, when I was doing some of our keyword research, we saw they were looking for tips. So free mountain biking for beginner tips. They're free, which is, well, I like free things. So it's a lot more compelling than just mountain biking for beginners, right? Like now it's like free mountain biking for beginner tips you can do yourself, right? So if I could spell, this would be very compelling. So we went from just mountain biking for beginners to free mountain biking for beginners tips that you can do. And it's like, well, wait, that's a lot more compelling.
Yeah.
Because if it's just
puts them in the brain space.
Exactly. And YouTube says make your title first searchable, but just as important, if not more, compelling. So that's why we put the mountain biking for beginners, as it says, within the first 60 characters or in the first 80% of the title.
Okay.
And another thing we have here is you want to make sure that you're not doing too many, because at a certain point, this gets too long. And obviously this isn't a great title because it's just an example. But YouTube starts cutting off things on mobile after 70 characters. So we recommend making your title between 20 to 70 characters, depending.
20 to 70, guys. Remember that. 20 to 70. Everybody repeat that in the comments right now. 20 to 70. Yeah. Now, and I guess before you move on,
go ahead.
Oops, sorry, that was the wrong one. Sorry, Adam. Keep the target keyword at the beginning. Like that goes in within what you were saying, but what you were just showing is adding free, which is not the keyword in the beginning. You have a little bit of flexibility there.
Yes, and again, it's within those 60 characters. Like adding the free, we're still targeting mountain biking for beginners, but it's finding ways to not only, because YouTube is not trying to serve robots, it's trying to serve real people, right? And as great as mountain biking for beginners is, what about it?
Yeah. It's just like, okay. And okay.
So now that we've described it a little better, that they're free mountain biking for beginner tips, we are different. Is
Yes.
SEO Studio a pro feature? Yes.
Okay.
So from here, we're not done. Now, if you're a live streamer, this feature right here is our upload defaults, and this will save you so much time. You can, if you have multiple shows, you can save them like we do. Like we have a bunch of streamers that come on TubeBuddy. You can hit here, hit apply, and then boom, it will load in all of the links for that specific. Obviously, that's not relevant to this, but if I click on TubeBuddy tips and tricks, maybe this is a little more relevant, and we have all of our links, so we don't have to copy and paste. We don't have to sit here and go, oh, I have to bring all of that in over. It's very easy. So when it comes to describing the video, you want to include your target keyword in the first 200 characters of your description. This is so important. A lot of times I see this from streamers, I see this from videos. People will be like this. And this is great for that community, but YouTube, I'll give the example. Hey guys, how are you doing today? And as nice as that is for everyone returning, YouTube has told us that only about 10 to 15% of people actually read the description.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. YouTube is 100% of the time looking at the first 200 characters in your description.
First 200 characters.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you write, hey guys, like that, it's great that you're introducing people.
Or even in this live stream or in this video, we'll talk about, like, that's an example I see all the time, is like, in this episode, we're going over, and like, that just does nothing for you, is what you're saying.
Well, that can, depending, right?
Okay.
So like, here's a great example, right? Today we're covering, because immediately, mountain biking for beginners. That is a sentence. It describes it, and it doesn't matter if it's not necessarily there. But if you're like, in this live stream today, Luria and I will maybe discuss the ability to the paradigm of TubeBuddy. It's like, get to the point. You know?
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, you want to try to get there as quickly as possible, but being a way that organically and naturally describes the video, because you don't want to try to game the system. It has to be following YouTube's rules. So today we're covering mountain biking for beginners. That's a great example of gets to the point, describes the video, but we're not done because it's that first 200 characters, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to delete this so we can focus a little bit more on the characters. So right now we know we're at 55 out of the 200 we get. Mountain biking for beginners doesn't have to be a challenge. This video will help beginner or pro mountain biking mountain biking fans. Again, I'm not a mountain biker. Do not take this for gospel.
Do not use these exact words.
Exactly. This is just an example. But again, we're including it organically. We're relating. It's like mountain biking, like if we were to do it for live streaming doesn't have to be a challenge. Live streaming can be very easy. So it's relating, it's being compelling. It's finding language that isn't like the paradigm of live streaming is great for growth on your channel, and doing so will earn you, like, no one cares, right?
Yeah.
But
just
when
be
you're
human.
yes, because YouTube is serving humans, not robots.
Yeah. I love it.
So the more we do in the studio, the higher the score goes.
Okay. I'm liking this. It's gamification, baby.
And so I'm going to quickly re-add our links because it just looks a little too barren for me. Yeah. Again, this is a great chance for you. If you have a live stream info deck here, you, instead of having to go to a notepad, you can just load all of them.
I love this because he literally showed me this right before. I was like, oh my God. So we have, like I said at the beginning, we have 3 different types of live streams that we do. and everything needs a different description. So like instead of copy paste, try and find it and like locate it, it's like right there. You're just done. Easy. Save time. I love it.
Yes, which again, we don't want you to be like, oh, I got to go in the back end before my
Right.
live, because it also can affect your mood, which can come
It
across
does.
on the stream.
Yeah.
But if all you have to do is press a button and you're done, you know how much happier you're going to be? You're like, I'm done?
Yeah, exactly. You're just going to be like, all right, that was easy. Let's go.
So now, I think it's important to talk about the tags. We talked about how people confuse keywords equaling tags. Let's actually dive into tags.
Okay.
So, I'm going to say this, and don't take it out of context.
Uh-oh.
YouTube says that tags alone do not matter. However, people are like, tags don't matter. But
Yeah.
they said alone.
Oh.
What YouTube means by this is that just because you have good tags, it's not going to save a bad video. Good SEO cannot save a bad performing video. And that doesn't mean the video is bad. It could be the title isn't good. It could be that the thumbnail isn't working. But just because you have good SEO, that might get you to the front, but it's not the SEO's part to make the video good.
Yeah.
Good SEO, good tags cannot save bad videos.
Right.
And streams too.
Yes, totally. I think in this case, everything when he says videos, we're talking videos, streams, recorded, all of it.
It's all the same.
It's all encompassing. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's that everybody treats live differently. And that is key. Like we've talked about it before, but it's worth repeating over and over and over that you have to treat live like a recorded video in many cases, right? Except for if you are going to do something like our Friday live Q&A that we do, which is incredibly popular, that is super successful for our channel specifically, right? You have to, but like mostly, like you've got to treat live like a recorded video. You got to do the work. You got to do the prep. You got to not expect it to be a magic bullet.
Exactly. And live, in my opinion, it's easy in some ways, but it's the same basic fundamentals.
Yeah.
Right? Like if your lighting isn't good for a live stream,
Right.
people aren't necessarily going to watch. But if your info, your metadata, your SEO isn't good, it's that same principle. Doesn't matter if you're doing a video or a live stream. It matters in both. Same here.
Love that.
So from here, let's focus on the tags. So we know that tags alone do not matter. So I do want to say that these are all here from our upload default. They're not relevant here. So irrelevant tags are against YouTube terms of service. So we're going to get rid of them. But I have just wanted to show you that. But notice how we immediately at TubeBuddy for you include your target keyword, which if you're ever forgetting what it is, it's right here.
I love this comment. Sold. Save me time.
And don't forget to use the link that has been shared throughout the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that is an affiliate link, guys, by the way, just so you know, like we're partnered with TubeBuddy because we believe in it. It took us from 0 to 20,000 subscribers in a short period of time. So, like we believe in it.
So from here, knowing that tags alone do not matter, well, then what do they need to be based on? They need to be based on whatever you title and describe your video, right? They need to all play in together. They need to be relevant. They need to be related, right? We know YouTube searches by relevancy. If we go back to mountain biking here, we're back to that relevancy example. But look here, YouTube highlights, or in this case, bolds, partial matches in both the video's title and description. In this case, it's mountain bike. This is not on accident. YouTube is looking for relevancy between your title, your description, and most important to what we're discussing, tags. So if you're not doing this, you're telling YouTube, the best way I can describe it is like a 5-year-old. You need to be very direct and this is what it is. Yes, YouTube is able to know that this is what it's about, but it's more so for the viewers. It's like, this is what we're doing today.
I like that.
So when I say that the tags need to be related, if we just do things like this, bike, mountain, first, you shouldn't do one-word tags. The reason is tags are just other ways people might find your video. And if we typed in bike, how long would it take people to find your stream or your video? And then if we type in mountain, which is going to give us even different results, like you have to remember, people don't search one word at a time, so you shouldn't be tagging one word at a time.
Okay.
So as we go back, well, here's the thing. We see mountain biking for beginner tips. Well, we did say that this is some tips. So that's a relevant keyword because we're giving tips, right?
Yeah.
Gears, that depends. Did you talk about gears in the video? If not, don't add it. Maybe
I have a question.
Yes.
Relevance versus score. I always go for score. Is that not right?
No, you can go for score. This
okay.
is just saying what we've noticed to give you a higher keyword score. You always, however, need to make sure it's relevant to your video. That's up to you.
Got it. Okay. So yeah. I see
so,
where you go.
Either way you sort it, it's kind of up to your own preference. But let's say we're a UK-based channel, then we're going to add mountain biking for beginners UK because that makes sense. If we talk about skills that they can use, maybe that some of those tips are skills, this might make more sense to add. Now, about mountain biking for beginners near me, well, that's not necessarily going to be related to the video, but if we're talking about some tricks or something like that, maybe we're going downhill, right? So maybe we talk about downhill. One thing we need to remember is what we've titled, right? So free mountain biking for beginners. Free mountain biking for beginner tips.
Ah, yes, the title.
Is the title, is it not always going to be relevant to your video?
Right? It better be.
So maybe we talk about skills. We can talk about just some of these other things.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of stop there because we do recommend going to the 500 YouTube gives you. And the reason I say this is that if YouTube is giving you a character opportunity of 500, would you rather have like 3 opportunities or 500?
Right. Yeah, totally. Use as much as you can.
Exactly. As long as it's relevant and serves your title and description.
Okay. Wow. That is, I mean, you guys, what do you think about that? There's a ton of information there. Again, this is where you can access, that's supposed to be TubeBuddy.com/LSP. It's in the description. So TubeBuddy.com/LSP, that is where you can download it for free, start digging in. Some of the features that, Andrew showed you are pro features. I find it well worth it to upgrade to that because you're getting so much more deeper so that you can really see faster results. It's about faster progress at this stage. And so what do you guys think? Are so good? Oh, well, that's Rob. Now, come on. He said he was learning a lot himself as well earlier. Andrew, are you still here? I think we lost Andrew, so I'm going to pull him out until he comes back in. Let me see if he's... let's see. Yes, you guys liked the 5-year-old kind of description, right? I thought that was funny as well. Oh, you guys are always bringing the value. I'm glad that you enjoyed this. There you are. Hi.
I don't know what happened.